Speaking to Labour Tube, the Labour MP claimed a considerable amount of anti-Brexit peers are jeopardising the true role of the upper house by continuing to put their pro-EU agenda before the will of the British people. Ms Hoey argued anti-Brexit Lib Dem lords and peers currently receiving generous pensions from the European Union have either very little experience in politics or are simply biased for the pursuit of keeping the UK in the Brussels bloc. The Labour MP said, "The face of the Lords is just not acceptable anymore in a democratic country. We've seen over 100 Lib Dem lords who are there, mainly because of the coalition government." Labour Tube at Brexit News. House of Lords could be completely reformed if they thwart Brexit. Warns Hoey. Some of them have done very little in politics. And then we see all the lords who have worked with or being paid by the European Union, getting pensions, and they don't even declare that. So there is a whole group of people within the establishment of the House of Lords who just want to destroy Brexit. And I am afraid, the way they're going at the moment, and certainly if they try to send something back again, if we defeat it in the Commons, then I think that would be absolutely clear that there will be a strong movement to completely change the makeup of the House of Lords. There is a whole group of people within the House of Lords who just want to destroy Brexit, Kate Hoey, which I think it is actually very sad, because I do think the House of Lords has a role, but if they abuse that role they can expect people to understand it and to continue to support it. On the final day of scrutiny of the flagship EU withdrawal bill in the upper house, Lords backed a cross-party call for setting up a quango to enforce Brussels environment rules in the UK after the country quits the EU. The defeat, by a margin of 50 votes, followed Lords backing for 14 previous amendments tabled by anti-Brexit peers. Jacob Rees-Mogg, chairman of the 60-strong backbench European Research Group of Tory MPs, last night condemned the vote as another attempt to sabotage Britain's departure from the EU. He said, "The Lords are increasingly determined to stop Brexit and caucus nook at voters." During a debate in the run-up to Wednesday's vote, one Brexit-backing Lord said the series of defeats inflicted on the government had marked dark days for the upper house. Tory Lord Framlingham, a former Deputy Commons Speaker, feared the false and dangerous posturing by Remainer peers had raised doubts about the future of the Lords. He said, "The days we have spent debating amendments to this bill have been very dark days for your Lordship's House. Without any doubt, my Lords, these days will go down in history as the House of Lords at its worst." Lord Framlingham said anti-Brexit peers had used and abused the gentle system of scrutiny in the Lords to further their own end to stop us leaving the EU. He faced cries of shame and rubbish from peers for his attack. Arch Remainer Lord Adnis defended the upper house role over the Brexit debate. He said, "We are not undermining the will of the elected representatives of the people." "What happens now is that our proposal, which is that the government should negotiate a continued customs union, now goes back to the House of Commons." "The reason why the majority was so large in the House of Lords is a lot of Conservatives voted for it is because they want their colleagues Conservative MPs to consider this issue seriously, and they make up their own minds.